Are you struggling with chunky or thin iron shots? There's one idea that has helped my students eliminate both instantly, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to apply it. Hi, my name's Justin Klambala, and I am the founder of BreakingBogeys.com, where we are helping students every single day break 100 for the first time, break 90 for the first time, or even break 80 for the first time. If you haven't done so already, head to BreakingBogeys.com to check out the transformations we've made with all of our students. And if this sounds like a goal that you'd like to achieve, maybe consider working with us. Now let's dive right in. What is this idea that has helped all of my students instantly hit more solid golf shots? It's the idea of the club hitting the ground in front of the ball. That's it. In golf, we are not attempting to hit the golf ball in the air, but I can promise you every amateur golfer is trying to hit the golf ball up in the air. But that's not the key to hitting the golf ball in the air. It's getting the club to hit the ground in front of the line or in front of the ball. Great golfers, if you've seen on TV, always take a divot, but that divot is ahead of the golf ball. Now what's interesting, every student that I've ever been able to work with are able to hit the ground in front on a practice swing. Almost every single time. They can do it consistently. However, when the ball shows up, they tend to do something quite different. And I promise you, if you can just get over this idea, you will strike the ball so much more purely and you will hit the golf ball so much more consistently. And that's just controlling where the club lands. So this drill we're going to start off with is just simply taking a practice swing and getting the club to land in front of this line. I like to form this line with 3 balls in a row so that way I can see a clear line, and I want to see if the club can land in front. So I just have 1, 2, 3 balls right in a row forming a line, and then I'm going to take a practice swing just next to my last ball in line, and I'm going to set up with my club behind the line, because that's where it would be if I was actually hitting the golf ball. So I'm going to set up with my club behind the line, and then I'm going to swing back and I'm going to swing through, and I'm going to see if the club can hit the ground in front of the line. This is the drill that I want you to start off with. So we're starting off with this drill, swinging back and through, and seeing if we can A, hit the ground, and B, it has to be in front of the line. Swinging back and through, hitting the ground out in front of that line. Now, the starting of this drill is that you have to do this 5 times in a row. So if you miss the ground or if you accidentally hit the ground behind the ball, you have to start over. We're not going to introduce a ball until you're able to do it on a practice swing 5 times in a row. So as you'll see, swing back, swing through, I'm hitting the ground in front. That's 1 in a row. That's 2 in a row. That's 3 in a row. And so on. If you ever make a swing that looks like this, the club was clearly swung above the ground, which would be basically practicing to top the ball or thin the ball, you would have to go back to 0. Or if you ever hit the ground and it's behind the line, you would also have to go back to 0. So we need 5 in a row hitting the ground in front. If you can do this, and I promise you, you will, I've coached the most beginner golfers who can do this drill, and they can do it consistently. So once you eventually get there, and take your time, don't rush through it, get to that level where you can hit it 5 times in a row, you have proven that you can hit the ball solidly and you can do it consistently because you've done it 5 times in a row and you've hit the ground in front. This is all you have to do to be able to hit a solid golf shot, is the club has to land in front of that ball. The second thing that's super important where the club lands in front of the ball, on top of it, it is more helpful if you are swinging confidently. So we have to be able to swing confidently. If you're swinging tentatively and sometimes trying to hit a spot on the ground, a very specific spot, we'll encourage you to try to slow down and swing a little bit more careful, but that is not the goal of this drill. We want to have very, very confident swings that hit the ground in front, and typically confidence comes with faster swings. So we're going to take a nice, fast, confident swing and hit the ground out in front of the ball. If you miss the ground in front of the ball, or if you make a swing that's not as confident as you could make, those are the main 2 reasons why most people miss a golf shot and don't make good solid contact. Okay, so now that I've done it 5 times in a row on a practice swing, I'm now gonna step up to the ball and try to do the exact same thing. So I'm just stepping up to this ball and I'm aiming for the ground in front. I am not trying to hit a good golf shot. That's the hardest thing to disassociate yourself from. If you try to hit the golf ball well, you're going to do something weird and unnatural, such as like keeping your weight on the back foot or bending your arms through impact to try to help the ball go up in the air. We want to ignore the fact that there's a ball there, and we're going to aim to hit the ground in front of the ball, which you've now already have proven that you're able to do. So I'm stepping up to the ball. I'm not aiming for the ball. I'm aiming for the ground in front. I can even put my eyes out in front of the ball. I want to keep these other 2 balls here because especially if you're doing this on grass, we want to see where your divot is in relationship to these other 2 balls. So keep those other 2 balls there. So I'm setting up to the ball, but I have my eyes out here and I'm gonna try to hit the ground, and it has to be out in front, and it has to be done with a confident golf swing. So I hit the ground in front of the ball there, and that was a nice solid golf shot. If you ever hit the ball not solid, it usually comes down to 2 things. You're either chunking the ball, which just means the club landed here instead of landing in front, or you will miss the ground completely, which causes thin or top shots. So if you just stay nice and focused on getting the club to land in front of the ball, you will be able to get there if your priority of hitting the ground in front is a higher one than you attempting to try to hit the golf ball in the air or hit it well. This golf club already has loft on the club. It's perfectly engineered to hit the ball in the air. You just have to stay committed to doing your job, which is getting the club to land at that correct spot. So now that the ball's in play, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to do this until I can get a certain amount of numbers in a row. 5 is a great early goal, but we wanna eventually get up to maybe 10 or 15 or even 20 where we're getting that many in a row. If you can start stacking that many shots in a row that you can hit solidly, I guarantee you that your confidence is going to grow and you're going to become a more consistent golfer. And this is pretty much it. You just have to learn to get the club to land in front. And if you are able to do this on a practice swing, you clearly can do it when the ball's there, as long as the priority of hitting the ground in front is higher than you trying to hit a good golf shot. And that's the most difficult thing for some people to get through, is that once the ball's there, they all of a sudden immensely care about where the ball's gonna go. If you do your job and hit the ground in front, I promise you, you will hit the most pure golf shots of your life. But you have to stay committed to hitting the ground out in front with a confident swing. Most people who want to get better in golf need a step-by-step plan to help them get to where they want to go. So if you're somebody who wants to break 100 for the first time, break 90 for the first time, or even break 80 for the first time, visit breakingbogeys.com and consider working with us. We do a guided step-by-step plan to help people play the best golf of their life. Head to breakingbogeys.com, put in your information, and we'll get in touch with you. And we would love to work with you to help you play the best golf of your life.